Yeah, position 4 DK is actually pretty normally run, I want to say, in NA. I think 1437 was very keen to spot off his win rate on the hero, which was impressive, of course, the Div 2 Slayers. So shout-outs to him, but I think it's a little bit more regular out there. Yeah, I do like it as well, because now you're going to avoid what was a pretty nasty, ninth pick Batrider here. You didn't really have a lot of solutions to it, and at least now you're not going to give him a bunch of kills while also shutting down a mid laner. Thompson ought to be able to get a bit of farm out here in this lane compared to if they threw him on the Necro or the DK.
Yep. I agree. And this, I mean, it's the best solution against the Batrider, honestly. I think not only just you getting farm, but also you being able to stop the Batrider from getting out of control here. Like, if you go for Boots of Travel, the usual build on Batrider mid, he was just going to be able to farm the whole map, completely crush your Necrophos, completely crush your DK also in the mid game. You probably would have forced DK to go for the Hood. I'm not saying Hoodwink is going to have an easier time, but at least you can somewhat run away. If there's no Firefly, Scurry is going to be very useful against him, and the lane's going to be fine, so he won't have a domination. I still don't think the matchup is that great against Hoodwink, but I don't think he can dive him as reliably because of the Bushwhack and the Acorn Shot.
Yeah, that's always going to be a threat here to Quinn. So long as Seb holds his own in these first couple of waves, he ought to be totally fine. I could definitely see this lane becoming pretty stompy, in pubs, for example, if you get a great start, because the only escape mechanism that Hoodwink does have is going to be naturally countered by that Firefly. But for the most part, like you say, you do have at least a little bit of counterplay here on the Squirrel. So we'll check out these blocks in the mid lane. Quinn, one of the stronger mids in my opinion here currently, is going to go just about even here in the block with Thompson.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, he's not his quintessential spirits, but I do feel like Batrider suits his style of kind of playing crazy as he usually likes to do. Not as maybe people don't consider the Batrider as the highest skilled, mid laner, but I feel like those that play Batrider can truly abuse him these days. The things you can do with the Firefly and the free pathing is pretty insane. Reminds me a bit of a DK as well, and how he can do the same thing with the Ags. We've seen how powerful that Ags has been, kind of enabling DKs with a single item. I think Batrider can fulfill similar roles, honestly. I mean, Dark Mago, there's a reason why that guy got banned from Dark Mago every single time in the Major.
Yeah, very true. I will say something that's at least nice here for Thompson is the fact that the individual stacks of the Napalm no longer slow you by the 70% at level 1, because of course as a ranged hero with the worst base attack time in the game, that would make the lane a little bit more difficult. So at least these early levels he's managing to find a couple of CS here, 2-0, compared to the 6-1 thus far.
For now, the lanes, I mean, the bottom lane is also an interesting one, as Samael's managed to hold his own against the Venom. In the first levels, usually actually is when Lelis is strongest. Once he gets Plague Wards with your illusions, you're fine, especially once you get more levels on Naga. So as long as these early levels, you can mitigate the weak attack damage Naga has early, I think you're good to go. I like the double Slippers of Agility to be able to deal with this. Because Venom also has low attack damage himself, but he can't go for the double Agility build. It's just not that useful later on in the game.
Yeah, very similar rather to like an Ember Spirit, where you can go for a cheeky point in the root if you want to try and enable No-Tail to get some kills. For now, though, No-Tail just happy to be able to force the healing salves out from Lelos, who's now just stuck with the 3 tangos, and of course the backup cell that MSS is carrying. Top lane, LOA actually, of course, second point in the mana drain, just looking to make sure that he can minimize Seb's regen here and his CSing with the Death Pulse. That's going to be mighty annoying for him. Saksa, of course, is going to struggle to close the gap to the Lion, but if he actually can get in his face, LOA is not going to be too happy to be exchanging blows with him.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths, of course, of the DK4, that you just trade blows forever. Once you get the second point in Dragon Blood, I don't think you can trade blows with him either. Seb is just here to farm. You have a really nice frontliner to help you out. And of course, Seb can always heal him, worst case scenario, if he gets in a pickle. I don't even think you need to Breathe Fire, honestly, on the 4 DK. Just get the Dragon Tail, get the 2 points in Dragon Blood. You don't even need to max that ability too much. And Lion is not particularly known for his harassing. He's good for the kill potential he brings to the lane, and it's a good lane with Wraithing because of double stun, but I don't think you kill a DK whatsoever here.
Thompson's fallen low, of course, but he's now got the full upgraded magic wand, even delaying the bottle in favor of making sure that he can get all this regen. Of course, playing versus the Batrider, basically a free stick lane.
That was costly.
And now that bottle is flying on over to him. So he's missed out at least on the 3-minute water rune, but of course the wand more than making up for it.
Yep. Yeah, that one was a good pickup against the Bat Rider for obvious reasons, but now he still might be stuck, actually. He's gonna dive the tower, and Thompson, nice bushwhack. We talked about this, Glenn, close to the trees. Thompson punishes him. He wants to get the kill and will accomplish it. Using the acorn shot slow to his advantage there. Quinn thought he could burn the squirrel, but squirrel's fighting back. It's 2021, baby. Ecology time.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Thompson as well plants the tree to block vision. And of
Yes,
course,
that's true,
having already used Flame Break and with the tower providing you vision as well as the Acorn Shot tree itself, Thompson was very easily able to secure that kill. So really, really nice play there.
Yeah, well done by Thompson, honestly. That's a huge win against a Bat Rider. I mean, getting the first blood, solo kill, these bushwhacks are not missing. He even gets the rune, so that's another bottle refill for him. Quinn, he got surprised there by the TP. Thompson avoiding him, even tips him because he knew what he just did.
Oh, he's going to steal his bounty, I think. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it.
No, but Thompson just continues to play the lane. You don't want to lose the lane that much. Actually use the range creep to his advantage. Acorn shot hurts a lot. Already put the 3 points into it as opposed to maxing the bushwhack.
Yep,
Bottom lane, they do lose no-tail though. Yep.
In the meantime, top lane, of course, this is the second time I've now seen them pull both creep waves on over into the hard camp. But Saksa, with the second point in Dragon's Blood, like you're saying, is just not really easy to kill here whatsoever.
I find it funny that Saksa is just trying to get them to hit him as opposed to hitting the creeps. Because, you know, you can just really attack them. That's the best you can do.
Thompson.
But he's trying to divert attention.
The bushwhack.
Oh, the sharpshooter to get more space, but Quinn this time is chasing after you. There's no more bushwhack using the acorn shot. This time the tree is burnt. They even used the rocket flare to help out Quinn, and that's going to guarantee the kill on Thompson.
Alright, steady, bumpy bee.
A great line from team in SMG. Sumail, though, is absolutely farming up a storm here. No-Tail did take that single death, but that's created so much space here overall. He's already into the jungle, as well as has proven to be a bit difficult to deal with now with Poison Sting level 3 and the Gale level 2. So he's decided against going into this Plague Ward build for now. I assume he's going to put a couple of points here and start to set up the toll booth and just look to passively push the tower. Active rotation, though, from Thompson, who instead of TPing back middle, will perhaps look for a kill down bottom.
This is the right build against a Naga, by the way. If you go for the Venomous Scale and you max that first, then Naga dispels it with the Mirror Image, so that's not a big deal. Your Dispel, though, takes 32 seconds, so you can't... Oh, Lilith's going to die, actually, to Thompson's rotation. No-Tail.
No-Tail might exchange his life. They've got another bushwhack in 5 seconds. I suppose Thompson might look to chase, but MSS with boots is going to be able to easily outrun the squirrel. Nice kill down there. They just simply weren't expecting the rotation. Lelis was more than willing, of course, to fight the AA, assuming that the squirrel rotated back to the mid lane until he saw the bushwhack coming for him. Not much he could do after that.
So Mail loses the courier, though, to Quinn. In fact, Quinn might consider going in. There's Mirror Image in 5 seconds, though, so Quinn should understand this and can't stack the Napalm. That's how the spell prevents the Gale. You go for Poison Sting because that the spell has too long a cooldown against Poison Sting. And if you go for the wards, it's just free farm for Naga, honestly. So I think this is the most optimal build for Lelis. His lane didn't go badly, all things considered, really.
Yawar's lane, though, has gone pretty poorly overall. 20 CS now. His tower's about to be taken here. Saksa level 3 still, so he's not gotten any, or much experience, I should say. But Seb already up to level 6 here. So there's the rotation from Quinn to relieve some pressure. With the DK, of course, naturally weak to the Bat Rider. We have Lasso to cancel the TP, but we won't need it. We have plenty of damage. It's going to be the first death here for the DK.
Alright, well, that was what they needed to kill the DK, but the whole lane he was free, as you mentioned. If it had been a Hoodwink, perhaps the lane would have been a bit easier, because at least you had kill potential on Hoodwink against DK. It felt really frustrating. You had double stunts for nothing, couldn't secure the farm on Yawar, so quite a nice early game for OG as it stands. That kill on DK is not that important as long as Seb survives that.
Quinn may look for a dive here onto No-Tail, supported by MSS. Flame Break with the cold feet are going to force Quinn to go take a more scenic route into the cogs. He will go now, as completing the TP will be Seb. Of course, with that level 6 Reaper Scythe available, and Quinn less HP than he would live on is going to be forced back, and there will be no such kill here onto the position 5 AA. Relieving pressure, though. That rotation, that play from Quinn does relieve a lot of much-needed pressure onto top lane, as you are finally able to at least get some alone time with the creep wave. I say that as Sox has immediately come back just to harass him a little bit and soak up some levels for himself.
Bottom lane, Thompson also has to fight a Clockwork, but has the sharpshooter to get out of the cogs. Okay. Thompson using that sharpshooter not to get kills, because he's a mid, he's just using it to escape constantly. It's working out for him.
Oh, so far so good. No-Tail just absorbing levels in mid lane. Seb's now returned top just to make sure that this Wraith King doesn't get to recover for too long in the middle of the waves. Pardon me, you are, by the way, queuing up the Radiance straight up here, just the casual Gloves of Haste. Down bottom, though, it's going to be Quinn making a second rotation. Still 700 gold away from the BOTs, but Thompson here looks like a viable kill. There's TPs available for the AA and the DK, as, yeah, I think Thompson knows he's in a bit of trouble now and will be killed off.
Okay, the Scurry's not going to do anything against a Bat Rider, of course. We did talk about how as a Hoodwink, you're kind of a glass cannon. In the mid-game, Bat Rider can easily kill you. That's why I think the Boots of Travel is also a good idea, just to go everywhere hunting the Hoodwink. They got a nice lead, but now Quinn is slowly biting at that lead, giving Yawar a bit more space to recover in this mid-game. However, Naga is farming, and so is the Necro, so if Thompson just plays here complete tempo control, as he usually does, and just a space creator, I think OG's quite happy. They have a 3 that can easily scale on the Necrophos.
Yeah, very true. Ice Blast is going to look bottom. It will be able to scout Thompson out.
Well, I mean, that's from his own team, so...
Oh, true, true.
Thompson has a sharpshooter. Can kill Ellis with it. Charges it. Someone needs to block it. Oh, never mind. He couldn't charge it long enough. In fact, now they come in to interrupt him, and Thompson dies yet again. I like him covering the bottom lane. Perhaps they're a bit too aggressive, thinking he could get a kill for free, when all of Quincy crew is looking bottom lane constantly to kill him.
Yeah, that's going to be the second back-to-back death here for Thompson. Down bottom, TP now going to be on cooldown for another 40 seconds. So it's the Walk of Shame back to one of these lanes. Away and Saksa just, again, continuing to get more and more farm, more levels here in the mid lane. Is that BOT's finished now for Quinn? Indeed it is after that second kill. So he's 3-1-1 on the Bat Rider with a 10-minute BOT. It's not too bad for himself here.
Yeah, usually this item is considered just a Midas, really, for most mid laners. I think Bat can take a bit more advantage of it because the movement speed does usually mean more damage, so probably one of the few guys where there's not that greedy on. However, the idea here by Quincy, yeah, it's just going to be to go for the kills, like I mentioned. You can always TP to a lane right after, you need to deep-push it, so you have that Liberty on top of that with a Bat Rider. You got to make use of the Veno and get him some charges on that Spirit Vessel. The target seems to be maybe the Naga, Samael. Gonna detect some of his illusions here. The smoke breaks, so they know the real one is there. They can detect who the real one is. Samael gets lassoed, unless he's to help. But those stomps actually stopped them. 2 stomps at once. They didn't end up mattering, but those centaurs really like the younger brother.
In trouble
more.
Down bottom, though, as there's going to be the older brother now losing his first life. Okay, they're going to set up for him on the second life, and they got him with plenty of damage. They don't end up killing him exactly with the Reaper's Scythe, but the kill is what they were looking for. They just needed to make sure they executed that one quickly. Mid lane.
They have cogs here, but the TPs are coming in as response. Quinn still wants to kill Saksa. Here joins Thompson, trying to punish the enemy mid laner, gets the pushback off. There is no sharpshooter, and there's no Reaper Scythe either, so they can't catch up to Quinn. The power of the Boots of Travel here, even if Thompson were to scurry, Bat Rider is still simply too fast right now.
Yeah, indeed. Nice play, though, as both Hassan brothers will be killed. Of course, once you see 4 heroes rotate to one side, you rotate your 4 heroes to kill the other one. So just about everything's even here. Saksa now with the Elder Dragon form. I believe this is his first Elder Dragon form of the game. He's going to be looking to push the tower now with Seb. Held at bay, though, by that Rocket Flare. And this is about to have Hookshot in another 15 seconds. From behind, though, comes LOA. Connects on the stun here onto the Ancient Apparition of No-Tail. Breathe Fire onto Lion here as the cogs are just going to separate him. Now they're going to break him in. Quinn wants to look for a fight here. Doesn't have lasso for another 40 seconds. Thinks he could just get him in here with the damage. Sharpshooter, though, is going to nuke down MSS. Quinn still idling, looking potentially to go back in, but will think better of it and backs away.
There was no lasso, and that kind of stopped the potential to be able to go back in with Quinn. I think the haste room was really good on Noto, or I mean, you can call it lucky, whatever you want. But Noto being able to get that, allowed him to retreat. He even had that moment of like, oh my god, I'm so fast, where you run like back and forth in the same spot, and then finally use the Ice Blast, killing the supports. Not the most major kills, but again, once again, you stop Lelos from getting those Vessel charges. So that's quite important. This Venomancer has not been able to use that Vessel whatsoever yet.
Yeah, indeed. I think he had a couple of Vessel charges, but he's going to be completely out of them now. Quinn looking for a kill onto Seb. There's a DK nearby, but there's also MSS. Range Dragon Form stun is going to be used here onto the Clockwork, as there's going to be the Ghost Shroud activated. Plenty of healing, but also amping the magic damage he's taking. Quinn easily getting the kill there. Might look for a +1 onto Saksa, as Ice Blast is going to be used for Lelis. Unfortunately, the Bushwhack just pushes him outside of the Ice Blast, but it's okay. Sharpshooter to secure the kill was ready for Thompson.
He was going to get out of the Ice Blast anyway by walking, so it's fine. I think that was a good counter by OG, but honestly, good by Quincy to begin with. You knew the Batrider was going to counter Necrophos at all points of the game. He had to go for the Hood. The Hood is just not enough against a Batrider, not with Boots of Travel, certainly. And that's one of the advantages, of course, of this item as well. The fact that you can join pretty much every fight, be omnipresent. You counter the majority of the enemy team. Even the Naga, honestly, to a degree. If Mirror Image is on cooldown, which usually it will be because she'll be farming, this high armor target but low HP is prime for Batrider kills. Once she gets the Manta, this changes a bit though, and that might be when OG starts playing a bit more aggressive with Sumail.
Sumail, who, by the way, is just about to finish up now, has just finished off his Manta style. So he's got that secondary Dispel. Pretty similar cooldowns on these bad boys. What, 34? 28 seconds to the 30 seconds. Plenty of illusions. Double Dispel available for him. Is going to allow him to man up a little bit more here, especially versus this Batrider if he needs to.
Yeah, it also stops the Veto, of course, so those Dispel's really useful this game, to be honest.
Yep. Helps him versus the Bat, or sorry, not the Batrider, versus the Clockwork if he's trapped in cogs with a hook shot. Also allows him to split push lanes like he's doing now. Great item for the Naga, of course.
Yeah, and because of the benefit of you have the core-to-core matchup, you can take this quite late. Nicely, Quinn. Yeah, they are baiting. He has a song, so this is a really good bait. Nice evasion by the Manta. It's there directly for SVG, but the target is Quinn. He's being frozen solid and then shattered as SVG joins him in the grave. Quincy crew, they got baited here.
They absolutely did. A really, really nice play out from the likes of OG. They know that Quinn is just going to be looking for these kills. And having a Naga Siren farming there, despite having a tier 1 that you can reinforce to very quickly, doesn't really matter that much to a Batrider, especially with a Blink Dagger. He was thinking he could get that kill very, very quickly, unfortunately. Just really nice placement by OG. And of course, a nice little Manta, or I guess, it was a mirror image dodge, wasn't it? Out from Sumail there, just to avoid the Earth Spike, in case there were more enemy heroes coming in.
MSS and Yawar going down bottom. They're going to find Thompson scurry right into the trees.
Oh,
Run, little squirrel. Oh, but there's a Batrider. How do you deal with this? Apparently a bushwhack. Thompson still scurrying. Quinn has a little bit of Firefly left. Thompson for now is getting away, but is he fast enough? They even used the Ice Blast trying to deter them. They caught up to Thompson with a Flame Break, finally stun him. Despite a good bushwhack, Thompson might now be in trouble. Here's the Sharpshooter to get more space, but it's too late. Quinn will end up killing him off with the residual damage of that Flame Break Firefly.
Yep, down he will go. Mid lane, though, in the meantime, Lelis in a bit of trouble. He's got plenty of Plague Wards down, but not going to do much to stop Seb, who will throw out that Reaper's Scythe and collect the kill onto Lelis. MSS, though, looking for revenge, as he is going to go ahead and put cogs around Seb. Now dragged back as Quinn completing the BOTs on over. As at least the lasso back into the tower. Ice Blast out from No Tail is going to whiff. Sumail, though, is with the regen rune, perhaps going to join this fight, as from behind comes LOA. Lands the stun onto Sox, so he's going to come to regret that, however, as he will be grouped up on by 4 heroes and killed off just as easily as they took care of Lelis.
Quincy struggling a bit, you could say here. They are trying their best to make plays here, but the Venomancer being a bit cancelled in lane, the Right King being in full recovery mode, and Batrider having to do, honestly, too much this game. It's difficult for them to take the right engagements. You can even notice their degree of desperation, trying to find kills where maybe it's not the most well-advised spot, or maybe it's a bit too risky. They just can't afford to wait and idle. I actually like this more than if they were idling and being patient. At least they're trying to do something, but it's working in favor of OG right now.
I will say, though, this has bought plenty of space and time for Yawar. Unfortunately, his farm is a little bit lackluster, as he's been kind of overshadowed just a little bit by Thompson. Just now about to finish up the Radiance. Still needs another 700 gold. That's top lane. Quinn is being ran down now by Soxa. Soxa, by the way, with the Blink Dagger on cooldown for 12 more seconds, as Quinn will blink through that Ice Blast and TP away unbothered.
That was quite the guess on the Ice Blast, though, and almost hit him. But nice blink there by Quinn. And he knows, he right now, they have to all play around him, so if he dies, that essentially stops Quincy Crew's pain train for a while. Wondering what you can do to make this Venom a bit more useful.
Okay, just trying to snipe the kill here onto Yawar. Will struggle to do that, although Thompson now trapped inside the cogs. Yawar going to go ahead and walk on over. Quinn has BOTs at the ready, but they're not even going to need him. Hookshot will be able to punish Thompson.
Yep. And in the top lane, Soxa could also be in trouble. TP's right under the Batrider. Lasso's available, but I don't know if he wanted to use it, because he just got it right as he was TPing.
I think it was just he was facing the wrong way, so he had to turn around and then start the cast animation. Nice stun out from Soxa. I think
Yeah, that's a good stun. Quincy in the middle lane, though they see Seb and Samael farming. Do they want to go for a kill here? They know they just forced the Dragon Knight to retreat, so they don't have that help. No Tail. They'll use the Ice Blast, but he's still in trouble. Flame Break, pushing him forward. No Tail. He's going to fall here. Lotus Orb not going to help him enough. Lelis finds an opening in the trees. In fact, the lasso actually will find Samael now. There's still a song. They try to kill him in time. Samael has to sing. Oh no, the cogs! Breaks his vocal cords and his face as Saksa struggling to get out alive. Seb in a similar position. MSS can end up finishing off Seb as his friend dies in the backlines. Quincy crew just took a really good team fight. And that's what you need to do, you know, you just keep forcing these fights over and over again, creating the space, and eventually you'll find a good one after the retreat of the DK. Very well read here by Quincy Crew.
Yeah, and a great time to show up to fight as well for Yawar, who's just finished up, and in that fight reveals the Radiance is completed, so he's got plenty of damage. Of course, Naga Siren's dealing with that miss rate, and just great plays out from the Clockwork to make sure that they can secure all of these kills. The early kills, of course, refilling the vessel, use those for the kills onto Seb, just great fight. They get the tier 1 tower, and this is going to open up the map here a little bit. We can already see Lelis setting up plenty of vision, just looking to get ready to fight.
Quinn being a huge driving force this whole game with the Batrider. Honestly, that lasso was on point. He knew he could just walk in and do it, and even if he gets stunned, it's whatever. Like, they even committed the Reaper Scythe there just to try to prevent Quincy from continuing that fight, but maybe Samael could have sung a bit earlier. That was an option for him. He thought he could get away. Those cogs were just so clutch, though. I don't think he was expecting them.
Yeah, they are going to now try for Roshan, though. This is scouted, of course, pretty quickly by the Clockwork's Rocket Flare. Do we have the ultis to fight this? Lasso back in 20. There's probably not going to be a Venomous Gale, and Fingers down for another minute. G, though, persistent, will go ahead and try and take this while they know that the ultis of Quincy are still recharging. Be a smoke play out from Quincy as they will be heading on over. Counter smoke now from OG, as I believe they have actually scouted this smoke with the Observer Ward. Sumal still chilling out in the Roche Pit, a little bit low on HP. Has now the Diffusal on top of that Manta style. Knocks into the heart here for the Naga Siren. Both teams smoked up, just willing to play it slow here. Quincy, of course, now with their ultis coming up one by one. We're just waiting for the Gale, or sorry, the Nova and 10 seconds. Followed by Finger and a further 30. So it feels like OG has kind of lost the opportunity to get this Roche.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a bit afraid of them being able to initiate like last time and bursting down Samael before he can sing. That damage is considerable. They have plenty of stuns. If you hit him with a lasso, I think that gives you enough time. So you can't really bait out Samael. What do you bait out? I think Seb is the best option, and they're going for a bait smoke this time. Seb is like, oh no, I wonder what my team is. I just want to come here and kill Plague Wards. I swear to God, I'm alone. I hope they don't come for me. Oh no, poor me.
Well, it's worked. Yawar is going to split off and continue farming top. Samael is looking to do the same here with the Manta illusions now being used. He'll find a bounty for his trouble. Might just start farming up some Ancients here if he can't find anyone else. It looks to be the case.
Oh. They're gonna find MSS. It's a good little Dragon Tail. Setting up for the Cold Feet as well. MSS is dead. There's no chance. Quincy Crew is leaving him to die. But in the top lane, they're gonna cancel Yawar's TP, and they will accomplish it as Thompson sets up the Sharpshooter. Yawar's been slowed. They buy back for this just to be able to save Yawar just in case. In fact, they might want to engage Yawar.
There's a Hex onto Seb in the river here. Quinn with the Blink Lasso at the ready, but he's holding off. He knows Sox is nearby with the Blink and Dragon Tail at the ready here. So they would have to really play that carefully. Seb, of course, has the Lotus Orb at the ready, and we've seen some pretty nice Lotus Orb plays here from Seb 2 days ago when we last saw him here on the B stream.
That Timber was incredible. I mean, I don't know, he has some crazy reflexes on that Lotus Orb. Some people tell you, oh, once you reach a certain age, you don't longer have reflexes, and Seb just hold my orb, please. What do you have to reflect this game? The Hex and the Air Spike. Actually, Air Spike particularly.
Air Spike, Lasso, of course.
Lasso,
right,
Lasso too. Yeah.
And the Dispel pretty useful against a Gale, especially if you need to get rid of that Vessel debuff, which might be relevant here considering that Naga Siren, our Sumel Hassan brother, is going for that Heart of Tarask himself. Next item. Still hasn't committed for anything quite yet, so he still has the option to change it. Thompson just split pushing top lane. He's even got a Tinker Ward to cover himself here.
Okay. They don't want this tower to follow. They don't want to give any more map control to OG. But OG themselves are just looking for a different objective. It's Roshan instead. With the Naga, this Roshan is actually kind of easy.
Yeah, and
Quincy
actually,
Crew interrupted.
Quincy are still hunting for a squirrel up top lane. They might not know. They've used Rocket Flare up top, and OG know about it, so I think they're just everyone into the Roche Pit right now. Here comes the second Rocket Flare. I don't think it'll be fast enough here to stop them. as it would seem that they've just been hoodwinked by the squirrel of Thompson. He was getting their attention top lane. In the meantime, OG will head right into the Roche pit.
Oh no. That does not feel good for Quincy. Of course, Seb. Where's the spray? Where's the "Are you offended" spray? It's the right time to use it. They just took a pretty free Aegis here. And Quincy crew will now struggle to take the next fight. I mean, they can still do it, mind you. But a part of them is like, should we really fight into the Aegis?
The answer is yes. It's a
yes,
resounding yes. They smoke and go for a fight.
It's another bait smoke with the Wraithing, it seems like. They go for a pickoff instead as they divide themselves. Quinn, Flame Break won't hit anything. He wants to stop Sox's TP. In comes SVG. There's a lasso. I don't think they even need it. They want some fried fish for dinner, and they're gonna find it.
Yep, now they can make some dragon scale tipped arrows for the anime later on. They may end up needing these.
Oh, they might. Oh, he's destroyed. No chance here. He actually even used the BKB as the Ice Blast hit. They want to avenge that, but I don't think they have the resources to do so. It's just two supports. Pretend like there's someone bigger behind them. Thompson showcasing that boomerang. Great, actually, combo with the Ice Blast as it increases that damage you receive.
Yeah, it's such a nice Aghanim Scepter, actually. Just really amping all of that damage that you end up taking. And of course, with all this burst, even if, I mean, I guess the only count to this is going to be the Aeon Discs eventually.
Yes.
Quincy, though, in the meantime, are going to be a little bit disappointed to have, you know, revealed the Batrider BKB in such fashion. Unfortunately, didn't really last long. I only knew he used it because of the sound.
Yep. I mean, the other counter is also BKBs, right? That's another option, which we are still starting to see. Like, we have a BKB on the way for Lelis. Quinn already has his own, and the Wraith King already has his own as well. So, War still a 9-second BKB on top of that. It's not too bad. I think the 100 Boomerang is strong, don't get me wrong, but I think there's ways to deal with it. Eventually, we might see a Lotus Orb, as it seems like Lelis is concentrating on being a bit of a utility Veno here. I think it's the best way to flex a Veno that hasn't been able to dominate the early game.
Ice Blast, once again, looking to set up for a kill onto Lelis this time, as they will connect. Also scouting MSS there with the projectile, but they won't be able to... Oh, maybe they will, actually. Sumail, with the heart completed and Aegis in hand, might look to go for a bit of a dive as he cuts the wave. TPs are coming, though, as they look to reinforce. Sox on the high ground, ready with the blink, as there's going to be the Gale onto one. Great stun, though, catching Sumail as he's trapped inside the cogs with all of his illusions. Lelis still alive as they find the right one with Yawar's stun, punching his brother in the face, but here comes Seb to secure the kill there with the Reaper Scythe onto Lelis. Sumail trying to escape, but fingered, will fall here. As now even Thompson scouted in the trees. Of course, nothing stops the sharpshooter, but he couldn't actually turn. There goes Thompson, killed off. Now as Yawar pops the BKB, another stun onto his brother. Saksa, in the meantime, is going to be saved. As Sumail looking to refet this fight with the Song of the Siren.
I don't know, they seem to want to retreat now, because look, Quinn still has his BKB. Actually going for poor Seb. But Sumail's trying to kill the enemy carrier. Yawar's out of mana. He couldn't use his magic stick in time. The dragon still stopped him. And he's going to fall. Yawar. He actually just got that shard.
Oh, he
just
did.
bought that shard after that fight. Yeah. He's like, well, should have had this before. Sumail going for more. Lelis is the target. He's been ensnared. We still have Diffusal as well, so this is going to be a dieback for Lelis.
Yeah, that was indeed very costly. Seb is making a good usage of the the Necrovos voice lines here in this game. Rough fight there for Quincy at the end of the day. Started off real nice, especially as they are able to get rid of this Aegis. Unfortunately for them, it just, at the end of the day, Sumail is just way too tanky then on his second life, as you do end up committing quite a few resources. The BKB, although it's a good one out from Yawar, means he doesn't have BKB at ready for what's coming next. And the rest of his team, stuck in the Song of the Siren, you know, aren't able to help him during that duration. So it was a great job canceling that long duration BKB using the Song of the Siren from Sumail.
Yep. I agree. I think that was a very well put song, and even the Dragon Tilt towards the end I think was also crucial. I mentioned it, but he had a magic stick ready just to be able to try to survive that. You know, the magic stick plus if you're lucky with the hits and whatever, you had the last bit of mana, maybe you could have made it out with a reincarnation.
Bottom, they're hunting Thompson again into the trees. Quinn actually used BKB for this. And Thompson looking to try and TP. There's no lasso. But hookshot is going to be there in time. LOA has the Hex at the ready and the finger. You got the squirrel.
Sometimes you go, is the finger really worth it? But since Thompson keeps getting away from these fights, they're just done. Thompson is attacking them mentally. They had to search for him in the top lane after a while, and now they're just dead set on killing him every single time they see him. But Thompson has done his job properly. He's creating a massive amount of space for Sumail. Sumail, who's playing a Naga, is a great... Oh, he missed the Elven Tunic. Oh, in fact, Thompson saw it. That's why Thompson's dead, so he can coach his team. And Sumail, he knows he has a good core-to-core matchup. He knows the Batrider will eventually fall off. Well, he's also already starting to fall off. The Veno can't deal with him either. So Thompson's only role here is to create space for him, and Sumail will gladly carry this 4-protect-1.
And so far, it's been working out. Game 1 of the Hassan Bowl, I would say Sumail is, well, with what, 4K more net worth than his older brother, pardon me. He's so far in a good position here. Just about to finish off the butterfly here and another 800 or so gold as he will throw the ensnare. Seb nearby. Of course, the Radiance debuff is making them a bit more annoying. Quinn is able to pick off Saksa in the meantime, but there goes the first life. Ice Blast now being set up for the second one. He will get off the BKB. A hook shot from behind, out from MSS to try and reset this fight. Quinn has BOT'd in, but does not have the lasso. He used that for the kill onto the DK up top lane. Quincy are just going to look to retreat and wait out this reincarnation duration.
Yep, it is level 3 reincarnation. It's only 40 seconds. This time you have a shard, so it's guaranteed every single time, right? So you've covered all bases now. Maybe with Assault Grass, you'll be able to fight it more consistently.
There's Aloe now with his shard, speaking of those, by the way.
Yeah. I'd argue the time is kind of running out here for Quincy, especially once the butterfly comes out for Sumail. You'll have to build an MKB for Yawar to even catch up to that butterfly. It's going to be very tough here. But we'll see. You know, Quincy Crew still has really good team fight, particularly single target pickoff potential with the Batrider. And they can take advantage of that. They can run all over the map, not necessarily kill Thompson, but find more juicier targets. Like the Naga, for example.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's going to be, I mean, a difficult catch. Sumail, of course, without a BKB, but he still does have 2 dispels for himself. So one of the greatest ways you can still kill him, even a tanky hero now with the Heart of Taras and all this armor, would be the Batrider. But again, with double dispel, it's going to feel impossible to get these stacks of the napalm up to really ramp up your damage.
Exactly.
And
even the Bat, like, I feel like at some point you also fall off in terms of the damage you can deal. Like, he's building Shivas to amp that up even further, but there's only so much a Bat can do. As Quinn. He's not meant to be the super scaler. Yeah, I guess the combo of Bat and Veno, maybe, you know, that with the Radiance. And hell, I mean, Wraith King deals damage to Naga. It just so happens that when you're surrounded by 4 Nagas, you're never going to win that fight.
Smoke play here, coming out from both sides now. Quincy, yet again, looking to play the Wraith King bait game, but instead OG set up in their own jungle. Waiting on the high ground here. Seb in position to break smokes. They've got a ward as well, watching over this tier 2 area.
Okay, MSS, there's the ensnare, Sumail jumps after him, bushwhack. They killed MSS rather quickly. The lasso though tries to stop Saksa, but Quinn could be in a pickle himself. Saksa actually put in the wrong position, and Saksa will fall first. Song of the Siren to reset the fight, but they're under tower, so it's going to be a retreat song in the end. They do have hookshot. They can try to stop this. Hookshot to 2. Those cogs. It's not going to really stop Sumail that much. Nice Lotus Sword. In fact, with a Reaper Scythe, they will destroy MSS here and SVG. But Sumail, he got stuck there. He ends up dying to Yawar. Yawar is trying to look for the final kill against Seb. Seb has no way to escape, but his teammate is there to aid him with those stuns. The first death here on Yawar. As Seb is looking for the kill on Quinn, he sees it as quite juicy, and Hoodwink, this time alive, can actually help his team. Seb will die for this. Yawar, knowing he's not afraid of anything, will finish off No Tail, but can't catch up to the Hoodwink in time. Quincy Crew will actually hold their own in a really good team fight there, and take them 4 for only 3 of their own.
Yeah, 4, because the dieback there on the Clockwork, I would argue. But what a way to reveal that Aghanim Scepter. Like I said in the draft, this is normally what you rush on the position for Clockwork, and that's exactly the reason you do it. Sumail out of position once, and then he's just going to be perma-stunned into his death. His team zoned out by those cogs after a great buyback into the hookshot. That's just always such a threat, because you can hookshot in from outside of the Song of the Siren range, as we saw. Made it just impossible for OG to cleanly back away, despite having one of the best disengage tools in the entire game.
I think that's why the rush of the overclock, right? He just knew this from the get-go. In fact, I think not just the hookshot to deal with the Naga, but also a way to deal with the Necro, who had to buy 4-step just to deal with this. And the cogs are still an impassable obstacle here for the poor Necro, who's incredibly slow. He managed to turn this team fight around really nicely by separating Sumail from his teammates, and then the song didn't feel as impactful. Sumail might want to consider at some point going for the Ags to cancel those BKBs or even turn that into a fight afterwards. We'll see. But that's definitely a late game core item. For now, it's BKB, so he can't get stuck again.
Yeah, initially a really nice aggressive dive out from the likes of OG as well. But it's really the buyback on the clockwork that turns this one around. You can see, like, as soon as that buyback comes through, Song is very quick to come out, but they just know that they can't just start TPing away straight away. That's simply not an option for them here. And yeah, just dividing and conquering. Seb unable to apply the Lotus to save his ally, and that's going to be Sumail taking a pretty costly death here.
Okay, the Dragonet. Oh, Yawar. Yeah, this smoke is not going to work. Nice bushwhack, but Yawar is definitely not the target you want to go for.
So you're going to smoke up again. Seb might be a good jump. Instead, they're going to look for these backliners. Fortunately for them, OG are retreating and covering their backliners pretty darn nicely.
Good flank by Quincy, though.
It might end up working. Second Roche is up. And,
He's under a
Quincy
ward,
Crew,
so they don't expect this either.
they find themselves on the high ground. They'll know that hookshot came from the other side now as their Song of the Siren to try and reset the fight, but you are quick on the BKB, trying to burst through Seb. He's going to get the forward staff, and now both the Ghost form away to make sure he can survive. Root will hold down Lelis for a while. Seb looking to now reinitiate. Lelis popping the BKB, looking to zone away the Necro though for now. As Sumail fighting these skeletons will not be able to get his way up back into the triangle.
Yeah, those skeletons, a little bit annoying. The zombies even more annoying. And if you combine them, it's the worst.
Zombie
Richie.
skeletons, they come back. No Song.
Quincy Crew, they're trying to reposition back to the high ground now. Because, I mean, they were in the enemy triangle, but it's a bit dangerous to be there.
Yeah.
You know, that ward from OG that's near the high ground in the mid lane that's not going to expire actually played against them because they weren't expecting the smoke from there. Up play, they take the outpost now. You still have a clockwork with hookshot. You can interrupt this even if you don't have
lasso.
fight this.
We don't have lasso, we don't have BKB. We've got BKB for Quinn though. He held onto it during that fight.
Oh, Thompson looking for some sneaky bushwhacks. Not going to find them though just yet. It seems like the Roshan is just going to fall. Quincy, are they going to interrupt this? Look at all the illusions trying to block the hookshot. And in fact, they're going to find a fight here. Hookshot, and it goes directly for Soxa, but he already got what he wanted, the kill on SVG. Quinn trying to go in and stop Thompson, but they've lost both of their supports. Quincy Crew
Thompson just
have to buy it back on SVG. Sumail finishes off the Roshan, so it's going to be Quincy Crew losing the objective. And both supports on top of that. SVG had to buy back just for this.
Thompson
He got
TP'd
nothing out of it.
Thompson TP'd to the tier 1 in the middle of that fight. The line blinked right up into his face, and I didn't see if he's... I guess LOA must have not had stuns, but he just knew there was no lasso, so even though the Bat Rider was right on top of him, he just TP's to the tier 1, and he's right back in the fight anyway, thanks to the scurry charges.
Pretty insane. Thompson's been everywhere. He stops the gank up top. Proceeds to join the fight here. Somehow, for some reason, he's the one leading the fight, despite the fact that he's quite the glass cannon. Soxa, though, has been a crucial force here as he's been initiating every single fight. Even in the fight in the triangle, he actually flanked them, which stopped Quincy Crew from advancing forward. Very well done, honestly.
Who took a shard, by the way? Not seeing it on anyone yet.
Oh, Thompson took it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I want to say, because he didn't have one earlier.
Didn't see it. No-Tail's got a suspicious amount of farm, I will say, especially for an
AA.
AA.
He just has a shard as well, but he has a Philosopher's Stone, so I'm not really sure.
Good point, good point.
I think it was
Quinn?
Thompson that took it. Quinn
fighting.
Bushwalk. Okay, the boomerang, everything for Quinn. Quinn's tired of the squirrel. Die, he says. Burn. Let's have squirrel for dinner, but Quinn sees an ally. Dragons don't burn as easily. There's no point in following that up. Quinn will be able to get away, though, from the Ice Blast. Again, really good guesses by No-Tail. It just so happens that Quinn has the mobility items to get him away.
Yeah, I'm just watching this replay now over from that last little engagement. Hookshot having to be used there just to try and counter-initiate, maybe save the first life of Yawar. It means that they didn't have it to contest Roche, so that's why Sumail's not in this fight. But yeah, Thompson just realizing LOA didn't have a stun for me. There's no way that Lasso's off cooldown. I'm just going to TP to the tier 1 tower. He lives through a 4-second TP while the Bat Rider's just trying to burn him alive.
I mean, Quincy Crew got a really good fight earlier, but it seems like when OG dominate the fights, it's been more difficult for them. However, now, when they have the control of the high ground, it's going to be difficult for OG to siege this. With the Naga, they just do the endless siege of the Naga illusions. But they can't really go up to the high ground without the fear of the double cogs, double hookshot.
Yeah, because you do have good save, but with MSS now having that overclock available, Quinn can basically just abduct someone into your base. MSS is going to be able to stop any reinforcements from saving them. LOA as well, ready to counter-initiate. And can, of course, can handle with the illusion push that Naga's going to be bringing. Setting up vision top lane. Once again, it's a squirrel hunting party here. At least that's what they're hoping for with these Nature's Prophets or Tinker Wards.
Thompson's been having a riot this game, honestly. I feel like this is the... Like, now that I see him play the Hoodwink, I've seen it once before, but it just feels like so much his hero. Constantly bamboozles players, just creates space like crazy, can recover really easily even if he dies a bunch because of the farming abilities Hoodwink has.
And he's tanky too. I mean, a lot of this does come from the Minotaur Horn, but he's got a Kaya and Sanj. You know, he's got Power Treads. Okay.
Yawar? Yeah, that's why I was saying, maybe consider at some point the X.
Again, we're just still hunting for the squirrel up top lane. Patience will pay off, though, because Thompson has just TP'd on up.
Oh, he's gonna... Nope, he scanned. He scanned. This is a high-tech squirrel, my friend. There's a Terran squirrel.
Saksa has Ag, so basically now an additional core to the likes of OG, and he's going to be able to, of course, fly right over these trees now using the power of Slyrak. In he goes, but he's going to be surprised to find 3 heroes here. 3 heroes, though, that can't quite kill the dragon. And here's Thompson now to reinitiate. Quinn and MSS just looking to TP out, and it's going to have to be Lion falling for the sins of his allies, as Sumail utilizing the song, hoping to catch any late TPers, will be unable to do so. That's just going to be the Lion dead. I believe that is a dieback, though. Yeah, it looks like it for LOA.
80 seconds without the song kind of sucks, but I guess 80 seconds without the Lion is evened out. I don't think you can push Highgarden just yet, though, even if you kill the Lion, because the song is too useful a tool.
By the way, Sumail picked up an Illusionist Cape. He's got Swift Blink now.
Yes. It's absurd. I mean, the Illusionist Cape for a Naga, Naga or Spectre are probably the best heroes to use this, honestly.
Yep. Sushka Spectre with that plus, what, 34% Haunt Illusion talent already? Yeah.
And Naga has the +1 Mirror Image Illusion, and now the extra Illusion for Illusion Escape. Look at this push! Oh no, so many Nagas. Yawar was already having a headache week 1.
Yeah,
it was 6.
And the reason we're seeing this now is because we don't have the Lion. Lion is the way to stop this from happening.
Yes, it's true. What else will you do if you can't suck the illusions?
They even vesseled the illusions just to make sure they could get the tower. Or sorry, Guardian Greaves, my bad.
Guardian Greaves, yeah.
Okay,
Sumail, okay, Lasso. Nice Lotus Orb, yet again by Seb, we talked about this earlier. And then with the Lasso plus the Ice Blast, they're gonna be able to finish off Quinn. He was not expecting that. Seb too quick on the draw.
There's the overclock. Sess is just not gonna be able to find anything here. 80 seconds now without Quinn. Once again, Seb just way too fast. Quinn finds himself just basically stunned and instantly killed even through his BKB. There's now the MKB delivered, but mid lane of Barracks already down and out.
Oh.
Thompson.
Look at those.
Oh. Was hoping for the kill onto LOA with the sharpshooter. Might as well. He's got, he got rid of the quickening charm actually. But short cooldown anyway in the ultimate. Might as well try for it.
So many illusions. Slicing and dicing the racks like they're sushi chefs here. Lelis could be in trouble. There's the Ice Blast. It's only going to graze him. In fact, it doesn't even graze Lelis. They don't seem to need it. The Bushwhack catches both. And now the second line for the Wraith King. Yawar has to use the BKB to get away. They have no passion. They can't control him. Yawar, they tried to use the song.
In goes
and
OG.
There's the classic OG Fountain Dive. MSS is going to die here. Yawar might also be in trouble. There's too many illusions. The Fountain cannot deal with them. OG just crushed Quincy in their own Fountain. They want to destroy their buildings to finish this match. Quincy's not going to let it. GG is called. OG will win game number 1.
Yeah, well, what a way to go out as well, as Yawar ends up dying to the illusions of his younger brother inside of the Fountain. Absolutely not.